Have you ever asked a stranger out on a date? Has a stranger ever asked you out on a date? So has anyone ever come up to you on the street to ask for your phone number or ask for a date?
Yeah, in fact, just an hour ago. Yeah. I think it's because I like to smile to people, and I really enjoy saying hi to folks that I walk past on the street. So yeah, some guy just approached me. I was on East Hastings and asked if I was single. I said, yeah, I'm not really looking, and he was fairly persistent and said, well, can I have your number? And I said, I'm not in that space today, but thanks for asking.
Yeah. Sometimes, whether it's in a public place like McDonald's or on the street, yeah, people have made a pass at me. And it's like, I'm flattered, thank you, but that's the thing with my personality and my perspective is I always put up my boundaries.
Yeah, the other day I was just getting in the elevator and someone said, oh, I've seen you, you're on Plenty of Fish. I'm not, I don't do internet dating. So I'm like, well, I'm not, you're clearly just trying to pick me up. And then he saw that there was a volleyball in my bike, so asked me if I played volleyball. By the time that question was done, we got to the bottom, I was leaving, and he was like, well, if you're ever gonna be on Plenty of Fish, I'll be there. I'm just like trying to get to where I'm going. I didn't want that today. Maybe any day.
Have you ever approached a stranger to ask them out on a date?
Like just on the street or something?
Yeah, just on the street.
Yeah, if you go back maybe 25 years or something like that, when I was in my early 20s, might not be making the best choices. So I think I approached them and, asked them, if I could give them my phone number or if they wanted to come and hang out. And both times they said no. And I could see actually that they looked a little scared. It really made me think that's not a good reaction. I don't want to make anybody feel scared.
It did feel like a compliment that they were stopping to say hi and were interested in that way. And because I knew what my own boundaries were and what I was wanting, I could be pretty firm in saying, no, not interested.
Right.
Other times when, if I'm all alone on a street and somebody approaches me or I find that they're invading my personal space, that would make me feel much more weary.
Have you ever been walking down the hallway at Metrotown and somebody's selling something at a kiosk and you're like, hey, buddy, come here, you gotta come.
Yes,
right?
It's awful, it's awful.
Because you're like, I'm just trying to go and do my thing, and you're like, so what I heard from women is like, picture that's like everywhere, all the time, except they're not selling sunglasses, they're selling sex.
Oh, that's awful.
When people approach you in public like that, have you ever felt threatened or you felt unsafe?
As a woman, there are times where I do feel more unsafe. I maybe am not always as honest in saying what I think to someone because I would be worried about the response it might provoke. So I often am kind of friendly and polite. So I don't want to be mean to someone. I will just say my no thank you and move on.
I've talked to so many women about how they get approached on the street and how it's either annoying or scary or both.
I wouldn't like that. Yeah, no, I wouldn't like that.
Have you ever approached a stranger on the street and asked them for their phone number or asked them for a date or something?
Not on the street, but yeah, I've approached folks in coffee shops before. I like to strike up conversation, and so there's been a few times in which, we've had pretty good banter for, maybe a whole afternoon. They're sitting next to me working, and at the end of the day I've said hey, would you want to grab a drink after this? Generally that stuff hasn't necessarily gone forward into a relationship, but I've made some good friends that way. I prefer to meet people face to face. I prefer the spontaneity, and I kind of like the mystery of meeting people out and about in the world and seeing what emerges.